welcome to SkySwitch University. In this unit, we want to cover branding the Meeting Manager portal. I want to point out here on our website, if you go to Services Web Conferencing, you'll see some very good information on our Meeting Manager, our web conference offering. And of course, it is a white label offering, and we're going to talk about white labeling, setting up that your web page, etc., so that it is white label. But you'll see here an overview and some features and some comparison between other well-known web conference offerings that are in the market. Now, so here is our, let me go to and show you our app. This is the Meeting Manager app, and as you notice, you can host, join, schedule meetings. Now, I'm not going to do a full-fledged training on this. We'll have that training in a subsequent video. Right now, we want to focus on branding the Meeting Manager portal, which is the page that your customers will go to in order to attend a meeting or offer a meeting to their customers, etc. So this is the app, and so let's jump into looking at the branding the Meeting Manager portal. Now, our portal is on meeting.skyswitch.com, that URL, meeting.skyswitch.com. If you notice, it's a secure URL. It's secured by SSL. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about this in a moment, but you'll notice that it has our logo, has our join meeting colors, the button colors, and so you'll be able to set up your own URL and you'll be able to set up your own colors so that this is branded for your company. All right, so I'm going to point out the document that you're going to need to read and follow in order to brand the Meeting Manager portal. Here's the document, Branding for Meeting Manager Portal, and gives you some description here of 2 URLs that you're going to need to set up. Now, these URLs need to be subdomains of your company's domain. So the first one's going to be meeting.yourdomain. Okay, so it needs to be a subdomain, and you'll prefix it with meeting, and then you will set up a DNS-A record with your registrar on that subdomain to point to this IP address. Okay? And then the second one will be meet.yourdomain. And on that one, you'll set up a DNS-A record that will point to this IP address. Now, before we get too in-depth here, I want to just jump over to the Brand in the Meeting Manager portal form, because that's what you're going to want to click on. We give you the information here, but we also discuss it in the form as well. So let's click on the form. Now, you're going to use this form to complete your Meeting Manager portal branding. Now, here's an important note. It's important that you complete your PBX Manager portal branding first. Now, why is it important? Because in setting up your PBX Manager portal branding, you set up your SSL certificate. And we're going to use the same SSL certificate settings for the Meeting Manager portal that you used for the PBX Manager portal. And so that's why it's important to complete that first. Now, typically in training, you brand your PBX Manager portal first in the training, and then you come to this point. So you should have already accomplished this, but we just want to put this note in here to make sure that you did accomplish that. Now, so we mentioned again the subdomain names that you will need to use, the hex code of the button color, the colors you wish to use on the page, the landing page, and the landing page logo that you want to use. Now, we're going to ask for your SkySwitch reseller ID, which is your 5-digit ID that you would have received in your welcome letter, your company name, the best person to contact also. Now, sometimes this isn't the owner, sometimes it's the web contact or the person in charge of the web page, etc., of the company. And then here's the first subdomain that we're asking for, and it needs to be prefixed as meeting.yourdomain. And then you'll create a DNS-A record with your registrar to point the subdomain to this IP address here. So we're asking you to tell us what is the subdomain that you're using here, meeting dot whatever. And then we give you the elements of the landing page here so that you can see where it's going to fit, your logo, the button, and so we're asking for the color of this button that you want to use so that it's branded for you. Okay. Now, the second subdomain is going to be prefixed with meet, M-E-E-T. This domain is used for invitations, for sending invitations from the system. And this domain is not branded. It doesn't have a logo on it. It doesn't have a button. It's just asking you to join. In fact, I'll show you what that looks like at ours. At meet.skyswitch.com, you'll notice it here. It doesn't have any branding on it. It's not meant to, because you're really not going to bring people to this page. This page, this URL, is only going to be used to set up invitations for meetings. The system uses it for that. And if you notice, it's not going to be secure because it's used just for setting up invitations, just for setting up meetings. And so on the form, that's what we're asking for. We're asking for that information. So let me get back to the form here. Okay, so you'll put that information in the field, whatever subdomain you're going to use, and you'll set up that A record with your registrar that points to this IP address. And so the last thing we need you to do is just submit the logo that you want to appear on the page and the hex code for your landing page button. You can find, if you never dealt with hex codes, there are codes for colors on the web, and you can visit color-hex.com if you want to find your hex code color for your button that you want to use. If you have any questions or comments, you can put those in this field. And just want to note that it'll take 24 to 48 hours for our SkySwitch control tower support to set up the branding. Okay, so that's the branding, the PBX Manager Portal form. You'll fill this out, you'll submit it, and then within 24 to 48 hours, your meeting manager, your meeting manager page will be set up, and then you'll be able to use it. You'll be able to give this URL out to your customers so that they can then invite people to meetings, or you can set them up on the app and they can schedule meetings. So in the subsequent meeting manager training, you'll learn how to use the app. You'll learn how to set up the meeting manager on a domain for a customer. You'll learn how to use the app. I do suggest that you set it up on your own domain and you begin to use it so that you'll get used to it. Of course, we use this in onboarding every day. It's a very sound app. It works like clockwork. So it's a great web conference offering that you can offer to your customers. And we believe that it's a very sticky product for you, because once your customers get to using the web conferencing app, it just makes them more sticky as they use more of your services as a SkySwitch white label reseller. Now, the last thing I want to do is point out some additional documents. So if you go to the knowledge base, you'll scroll down here and you'll see Meeting Manager. If we click on the header of that category, you're going to see some different documents here. You'll see the branding for the Meeting Manager Portal document, which we just went through. But then you'll also see some overview of the Meeting Manager. You'll see how to enable web conferencing for a domain. You'll see how to use the Meeting Manager software. So you're going to see multiple documents in here that will help you understand the Meeting Manager web conference offering and how to set it up and how to then offer that to your customers. And again, Like I stated, there's going to be some subsequent training that will show you how to set it up and how to use it. All right, so if you have any questions, you can send those to onboarding@skyswitch.com, and thank you for your time.